Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and I want to talk about carbs. This is a question I've gotten a ton recently on low carb diets or cutting out carbs. How much carbs should I cut out to really get a result? And is that really good for me? And da-da-da-da-da, right? This is a really common thing that women have questions on because there's so much kind of random information out there about cutting down your carbohydrates and how good it is for you, or people getting all these results with cutting out carb. But really, it's really important to understand the necessity that carb plays in your regular routine diet. So before I jump into what all this means, I'm going to talk about the 12-week program I have coming up. We start April 2nd. I'll put a link below where you can schedule a call with me. I can answer any questions you have. If you're wondering about your carbohydrate amounts, if you're getting enough, if you've tried low to no carb diets, if they've not worked for you, if you've struggled with any of these things, let me know. I also have a ton more information in my book, The Female Fat Solution, which is on Amazon. But I'll put a link there so we can chat. My 12-week program, I really dive into nutrition for women's hormones. That's my specialty. Nutrition that matches your hormones and your cycle, really getting the female body to work and function a heck of a lot better and to get your results that last. The female body works totally differently than the male body does. And it's important that we're taking advantage of the natural hormones we have to actually help achieve lasting results. For a lot of women, it happens at a different time as well, meaning it takes longer. You're expecting a certain result at a certain time and it doesn't happen. Here's Spot jumping in my video again. Listen, you little turkey. Last time he jumped in my video earlier today, I had treats for him. I don't have treats right now. So yeah, little turkey. So when we talk about carbs, he spit all over my chin. That's this dog spit. Great. When we talk about carbs and the importance in the body, I always like to reference how your body uses carbohydrate. Now, there's a lot of different kinds of carb, right? There's sugars, there's crackers, pretzels, bread, right? Pasta, potatoes, rice, quinoa, any type of candy, fruit. Those are carbohydrates. Now, they're not all created equal, though. They don't all respond exactly equally in the body. But on average, your body's going to burn through any sugars from carbohydrates in, anywhere from 5 minutes, if it's straight sugar, to up to an hour. Some carbohydrates can take up to an hour for your body to use that energy. After that, proteins, it takes 2 to 3 hours. Fats, it takes 4 hours. So I always recommend people use complete nutrient meals, incorporating carbohydrate into your meal and snack and everything. If you cut out carb, you're only relying on these things. Your body doesn't have any of that other energy. That's really important because your brain runs off of carbohydrates and sugars. Yes, needs to have it. So you're also going to be fueling your metabolism really, really well when you're incorporating carbohydrate in with everything else. I'm not a big fan of just eating carb, right? I mean, I'm sure there's places and times for that, absolutely. But when you're incorporating carbohydrate into a complete nutrient, and doing that evenly and consistently, you're increasing the metabolism. You're fueling the body. It's like building a big bonfire, right? I always talk about building, for those of you that is, younger people, okay, maybe I would still do it today, right? But I just don't fit it into my schedule. Where, you're hanging out with friends or cousins or something and you're like, oh, hey, I'm going to build a big bonfire. Okay, what do? You get, firewood, you get some type of, you get some fuel, right? Wood, sticks from the woods or whatever, and you start building a fire and you want to keep feeding that fire evenly and consistently to get it bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's how you make a bonfire really big and really, really hot. That's what you want to do with your metabolism. If you put too much fuel on at once, you're going to smother the fire. And if you don't feed it enough and you wait too long in between fuelings, you're gonna starve the fire and it's not gonna take off like it normally would. So this is something to really, really focus on when you're looking at your nutrients and when you're looking at, getting an equal balanced nutrient meal, adding carbohydrate in. If you take out that carbohydrate, it throws off the balance. If you take out that carbohydrate, your body's not really fully functioning and getting the fastest metabolism it could. Now, again, like I said, not all carbs are created equal, and some people respond better to different types of carbs, right? And there's different, even within fruit. Fruit has different glycemic indexes, which means it just responds differently and does different things with your blood sugar and your insulin levels, blah, 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 right? Who really wants to know all those details? No one does. But it's important to understand that, you know what? If I'm choosing fruit for my carbohydrates, even little choices like berries and apples and pears are lower on the glycemic index scale than things like watermelon and pineapple. Those have a lot more sugar in them. So again, how fast is your body burning through things? You're thinking, well, pineapple, that's a healthy choice, right? Sure. But it's got more sugars in it. So again, making sure you're balancing some things out with the rest of your meals. For people who cut out carbohydrate completely, a lot of times you will notice a faster change on the scale. But for women and how women lose weight differently, you don't just see a scale drop. That's actually not a healthy weight loss for women typically. What you should notice first, and I always talk about this for women first, is that the first thing you want to notice here, number one, you want to notice an increase in energy. That's really, really important. If you get more energy, if your body's feeling better, you're going to get a better result overall. For a lot of women, when you cut out carb, you can do it for a short period of time, but then you start to feel like what? Like garbage. You start to get really tired and feel like, ugh, I can't keep going. I have these cravings, and you have to use a lot of willpower, which is a ton of energy that you're expending just to try and not eat carb, which your body needs. That's why it's telling you it needs it. And that's not a sustainable plan. So that's a really important thing to kind of keep in mind. What nutrition changes are you making? And is that sustainable for you, for your lifestyle, for your goals? So having number one be the shift for women in terms of health and weight loss, having an increase in energy and just feeling better, feeling more vibrant, feeling stronger. You want to build more lean muscle. You want to get that, energy back and everything. Also, side note, if you are finding this information helpful, if you're noticing, oh my gosh, if you're having some light bulbs go off or feeling like, you know what, I know somebody who could use this info, if you would click that share button and share this with other people, I would so appreciate it, because my mission is just to get more information to women to help them get better and feel better and stay better and to get to their results a lot easier. So by sharing this video, that would help me accomplish that, and I would super appreciate it. So weight loss for women, let me write this up here so I don't get super distracted. Weight loss for women. Super fancy there. Number one, you're going to notice that increase in energy, vitality, everything else. Heather's asking, what's a healthy amount of carb gram per day? Excellent question. And I'll go through that next. The second thing women notice typically is measurements. A change in measurements. That means that your waist is going to shrink. Again, the scale is still not going to change necessarily. You're looking to make more of a lasting shift. So you want your body composition to change. That means decreasing your body fat percentage. But in return, you're probably going to have to increase your lean muscle mass, which means the scale's not going to change. Hi, Mammy. So that's the thing. Energy, then measurements. This can take a couple of days. This can take a couple of weeks or more. It depends on what you have going on. For women that have a ton of hormonal issues, autoimmune issues, Lyme, thyroid, all these other things, right? This can take at least a month before you're really feeling like, you know what? By golly, I do feel better. I have more energy. Woo! That's just how long it takes the body to really rebound from some of these things. Measurements then, having the measurements shift and change. When you're looking at hormonal weight, but more muscle is better. Yes, Barb, boom! More muscle is better. What's your view on if it fits my macros diet, then cycling macro ratios? Yes, we can. I'll talk about amounts and cycling macros and all that stuff. So by your measurements, I mean like your waist. So when you start a nutrition change, always, if you're going to take a scale, like step on the scale, always take your measurements. Take a tape measure. For some people, looking at a number can be kind of like, oh my God, my waist is this big in inches, right? It doesn't matter. Take a piece of string. Take a piece of string because you just want to see a change there. So you're not looking at a number per se, right? It's going to be about how your body feels and is responding. And sometimes too, if you're like, well, are my pants looser? Blah, blah, blah. Well, what type is the fabric? Did you wash the pants recently? all those things can play a part too. So either a tape measure or taking a piece of string and marking on it, this is where my waist is at right now, and then looking for that to get smaller. Waist, hips, thighs, a lot of hormonal and stress weight gets held for women in the waist, hips, and thighs. Shocker, right? Weird. Third thing for women to change in weight loss is going to be the scale. Finally, this can take, no, I'm not kidding. Depending on what you have going on individually, it can take anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks for this to change, for you being consistent on a nutrition change, a positive nutrition change for your body. That's a heck of a long time to do something different without seeing the result you want to see and waiting for it and trusting that that process is happening. This is why I have my 12-week group, because I love to work with women one-on-one on getting you there. So it's really important that you're understanding the process that the female body goes through to get healthier, get stronger, everything else. It's really a big deal. Kim's saying you lift 3 days a week and kickbox twice a week. Very, very slow change. Yes, Kim, absolutely. So a few things to kind of just focus on. If you notice an increase in energy and measurements, that's amazing progress right there. It's amazing progress. The scale will come later. But again, sometimes you have to shift some of these things around a little bit, your nutrients, your macros, just to make sure you're getting the right type of result. So I'll talk about macro amounts. Now, this again, I'll put a link below. If you want to chat with me about what your right macros may be for you, I really make recommendations not on this is what you need and say it to everybody. It's more about where are you at right now? What's your health? What's your hormones? What's your stress? How's your sleep? How's your energy? All those things are really important. And what's your goal and how are you eating? And then we sort of match that together. I mean, otherwise you're going to be sort of taking a shot in the dark on anything. I use myself as an example because I'm sort of a different, right? I call myself an odd duck, right? I'm 6'2", and I work out a ton. I lift, I do interval training, I play football, women's full tackle football. So what I'm expecting my body to do and the amount of macros I'm eating every day, I don't expect everybody else to eat, right? Like for some, like a 5'2" runner, that would not be good if they were eating the same way I was eating, right? Like it just doesn't make sense to do that. Also stress levels, sleep, everything else. It's really important. KB, football. Yeah, buddy. So when we talk about macros, I'll just do them in ratios. I also don't believe in saying, oh, you need 40%, 20%. Sure. But I talk about getting to the right protein number for you first and then breaking that down from there. So if you're going to get protein for your body, for your goals, and this is just an example, say you weigh 150 pounds and you want to lose at least 20 pounds, you want to focus on getting enough lean muscle mass. So this is how I break this down. You want to focus on getting at least lean muscle mass to support that for your body. Otherwise, you won't be able to get there and support it and feel good doing it, again, being sustainable for you. Again, if you're finding this helpful, click that share button because so many women struggle with this. So many women are stuck and feeling like, oh, what am I doing wrong, right? So it's really important. Again, I have a ton of information in my book, but I do work one-on-one with women in my 12-week program. So for protein, say you weigh 150 pounds. This is just an example. And you want to lose, say, 20. Then for protein, let's say this would be an average start point. You look at getting, say, 125 grams of protein a day. That's where we start. Focusing on that first. That's first and foremost. From there, you need to have carbohydrate involved. An average number of carbohydrate would be very close to the amount of protein you're getting. Why? Because it teaches your body and your metabolism to burn it quickly. If you're taking it out, you're following something that is a depletion recommendation. Depletion in the female body does not happen the same way as it does in the male body. The female body is designed to store fat. Anytime we're under stress, anytime something is not matched, our natural body response is to store more fat. Not what we want, right? So you don't ever want to deplete. So you want to get somewhere near this number here for carbohydrate amounts. Again, this is just an example on, something to kind of look at and play around with. So we'll say anything from 100 to even, say 140 grams. Some of the amounts specifically may depend on your training. Are you training for a marathon, a half marathon, something like that? Your body may need more carbohydrate. Why does it need more carbohydrate? Because of workouts you're doing, you need to have certain glycogen stores to really push through the workout so you're not getting stressed out. So your body's not stressing out. When the female body gets stressed out, the hormones go out of whack and it stores more fat. We want to avoid that. That's literally the basic of how the female body works. So all these recommendations for cut out the carb, blah, 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 stresses the female body out, and it's going to force you to store more fat and use your muscle tissue for energy. We don't want that, because then your metabolism slows down. From there, I don't necessarily focus right away on the fat component of it, how many fats you should get a day. It depends, right? And it depends on where you are at in your cycle. So I would say anywhere 40, 60 grams plus, depending. When your body's higher in progesterone, you need more healthy fats. Your body needs more calorie when it's higher in progesterone. So that's going to be day 15 to 28 of your cycle right there. Really important that you're doing that. If you're not matching that and getting your body more calorie, which is easy to do, it's easy to maintain some of these things and go through carb cycling, which I'll do a separate video on carb cycling, or you can comment below if you want me to do a separate video on carb cycling and female hormones and how that works, because that'll be sure to incorporate things if you have questions on that. But it's easy to just add some more healthy fats, have extra avocado, put in more coconut oil with your, shake or in your coffee or whatever, right? Having a fat bomb. I love fat bombs. Having an extra fat bomb or two when your body's higher in progesterone to help meet the increased calorie amount that your body needs when it's in the progesterone phase, days 15 through 28 of your cycle. So you're going to be getting the most out of your body, not stressing it out, giving it the nutrient it needs. Also, side note, this will help decrease cravings, whether it be salt, sweet cravings. It will help with your thirst. It'll help with hydration, all these other things that are really important for this phase here. Women get bloated and you don't feel as good. This helps a ton to increase your healthy fats during this phase here. So I kind of went on a little tangent with this video. Started talking about carb and carb depletion, and then I took a little bit of a left turn because I got excited. Sorry. Anyway, so this is about the ratios. That was a really good question. But again, it's going to be dependent on what your goals are, what you're looking to accomplish, and what you're looking to maintain. A lot of times women you're not looking to have, I want to lose 20 pounds, but I want to lose it within, of course everybody wants to lose it like yesterday, right? But you're not looking to lose it and then gain it again, right? That's not part of the plan. You want to get it off and keep it off. And this is the way to do it. Really just focusing differently on your food, measuring your results differently will get you in a different mindset about how this is going to help you. And then really paying attention to these little shifts in your hormones. That's going to keep you on track so much better. So that's what I got for you guys right now. If you want a video on carb cycling, please comment below. Let me know. I will put in the comments below a link where you can schedule a call with me. It's a free call. I'd just be more than happy to chat with you and help you navigate whatever you need help navigating right now. And again, I do have my 12-week program where I work one-on-one with women and really help you dive into, nutrition for hormones, getting the right nutrients for you, really measuring your results and shifting things along the way to make sure you're making the best results. It's really important you have a meal plan, grocery list, all these other resources, more videos, more resources available to you. So that's really, really excellent. Hormone cycle, post-menopause. I know so many questions on being menopausal or not having a cycle anymore. I'm going to do a separate video on that. How do I work with my hormones if I don't have a cycle anymore? So I will do a whole separate video on that and dedicate time to that because it is really important. You still have hormone present in your body that you can work with, and your body's used to this ebb and flow. So yes. All right. Let me know if you guys have questions. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And let me know if you have questions. I will see you later.